If you are an English style knitter, that means that when you knit, you have a throwing motion that you use with your yarn. When doing our 1x1 or single stranded color work here, or 1x1 pattern for this hat, you are going to need to manage 2 colors at the same time. For our pattern, we have an odd number of stitches. When you see our main color on the needle, that's when you need to work your contrasting color yarn. And then when you see our contrasting color yarn on the needle, you work our main color yarn. So for throwers, I would recommend, so again, we want that contrasting color to come from underneath. So I would recommend holding them both and perhaps splitting them here, holding them maybe a little closer than you would. And this way, when you have that main color, when you throw your contrasting color here, you can have this kind of flicking motion and wrap the stitch with your contrasting color, but yet you also have in your hand your main color. Should be able to wrap there. Let me show you again. And kind of throw contrasting color, main color, and stopping every few stitches, make sure they're not too loose, and then also spreading them out a bit. That helps standardize your float size on the back. So again, I just kind of grab it, put my index finger between the two, contrasting color, main color. If it's a new motion to you, be sure you take the time to do some deep breathing, some shoulder rolls, because as you can see, you can easily find your rhythm in this pattern. For our continental knitters, you will tension your contrasting color in your left hand as you normally would. And then I'd recommend mirroring the tension that you have in your left hand in your right hand, just repeating the same thing, having it ready to hold so you can pick with each hand. I don't have enough tension. I don't like the tension in my right hand when I carry my yarn the same way, so I add an extra finger there so that I can pick with each finger and it feels good. For our pattern, we have an odd number of stitches, and so when we see our contrasting color, we are going to knit with our main color, and when we see our main color, we will knit with our contrasting color. So you'll just wrap it. So it'll take a while to get used to this new method. You definitely want to be checking your stitches every so often, making sure they're not too tight up against the needle, stretching them out every few stitches, helps make sure your floats across the back are more consistent. Make sure you do some breathing, some shoulder rolls while you do this. As you learn new techniques, it might be a little more tense, but I promise eventually you'll find your rhythm again, and it will be nice and relaxing. Just find whatever method is comfortable for you. Now that I've demonstrated how to create our colorful pattern with both English style or throwing and with continental knitting, I really wanted to demonstrate how I personally knit our pattern, because it's actually a combination method, and I just wanted to show it to you as another option and further demonstrate that it's all about how you're comfortable. You want to enjoy your knitting, so whatever feels good as you are doing the work, that's what's important. So I sometimes, because I'm a continental knitter, I will do two fingered picking, but then sometimes I just drop the yarn in my left hand, and it just becomes natural for me to continental knit with my left hand and throw with my right hand. So when I go to throw with my right hand, I hold on to grab that needle, grab that right-handed needle, so I can throw with my left hand. And so again, it's key to go back. Make sure you even out your floats. Make sure they have some equal distances between them. You don't, make sure you've not been too tight, especially if you're going to be trying different methods in your hat. It's whatever allows you to comfortably find your rhythm, so you can take some time focusing on your breathing. Do some shoulder rolls. That way you pay attention if you're making a mistake, like I almost did. So it's just watching it, and if you ever get too far and you see, wait a second, I'm knitting my main color with my main color, it's pretty easy to go back and see what you did. That's it. And that's how our hat is made for you.